What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. Alright, guys, so today, by the time you're listening to this, it is Saturday, November 26th, and it is time for Survivor Series, our Survivor Series predictions. So, we have a short NXT style card here, but it's going to be jam-packed because it's War Games. This is the first Survivor Series that's actually within years where there is no Raw versus Smackdown theme. It is actually a storyline driven theme on the show, and that is actually refreshing. And this time Triple H, instead of doing the 5-on-5 Survivor Series, traditional Survivor Series matches, we get a bunch of those matches. This time those matches, or at least for this year, but most likely I think that's the way going forward, is being replaced with the War Games match. It's still a 5-on-5, but it's not elimination. It's a more entertaining, more brutal matchup. NXT has already been having War Games. They've been having War Games for like the past, 4 years now, Prime?
This is like the 5th year.
So, like, this Survivor Series is the 5th year, you're saying, of the War Games match?
Yeah.
So it has been sort of a tradition in November. They just did it for NXT, but now it has come to the main roster. This is their first one, so I know they're going to try to do what they can for the first one, and then once they get a better storyline-driven thing, I think come next year it'll be even better. So, but, we got some interesting things going on here. We got a 5-match card. This should really be a breeze, to go through. So, a 5-match card here. Let's just get on what we got going on here, because on SmackDown tonight, or last night, we saw the return of Becky Lynch, who is joining Bianca Belair's crew, which is kind of like a given, because if Bianca's going to make everybody wait till Monday, on Monday, make everybody wait till Friday, it had to be a bigger name. It wasn't going to be no Candice LeRae. It wasn't going to be no Tegan Knox. And at first, before Mia Yim joined, I thought it could have been a small possibility that it would have been Sasha and Naomi. But once Mia Yim joined, I'm like, well, it's not going to be them. So, our first match that we can predict is the women's War Games match. Team Bianca, which is Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and Becky Lynch, taking on Team Damage Control, which is Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky, with Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley. So, for those who are not familiar with how the War Games match works, because this is the first time on the main roster, a lot of people do not watch NXT. It's 2 rings, and there's started from each team, and then each team gets the advantage. One team gets the man advantage, and then every 2 or 5, I'm pretty sure it's every 5 minutes, Prime, or is it every 2 minutes? If you remember.
I think it's 3 or 2.
Okay. Well, yeah. So every 2 or 3 minutes, because I don't think they're gonna do 5. We got 10 fucking people. When every 2 or 3 minutes, a new member from each team comes in, and then when the last member from the team, from whatever team that doesn't have the advantage comes in. They come in, they usually are the ones that brings in the weapons and stuff like that, and then they close the door, then War Games can begin. Then when it begins, you win the match either by pinfall or submission. The old games was either by submission or give up or knockout. So they did add the pinfall stipulation in the WWE version. So, Brian, how does the women's War Games match go for you?
I think I will probably say that the Belair team wins.
I would, I would think so as well. I mean, I do think right now this has to put an end to the whole damage control and Bianca, Alexa, and Oscar feud. But for some reason, I do think that we're gonna get some weird, kind of weird shenanigans. Do you see Sasha and Naomi kind of like returning at the end of this thing?
No.
No. Do you see like a Bray Wyatt kind of interference that's going to distract Alexa Bliss?
No.
Okay, so this is.
I think a Bray Wyatt thing will happen at her entrance or something, but I don't. Because if it distracts her, what is that? That doesn't help anybody in the match.
It doesn't. Well, I mean, don't really help Alexa Bliss in this match in the first place.
But I'm saying, even though him distracting her does nothing to put anybody over in the match.
Fair. So, I want to say, I want to go with Team Bianca wins the matchup. I say Bianca gets the pin. Or I think Nikki Cross is in there to take the pin. Rhea Ripley's not taking that pin right now.
No, Bayley's taking the pin.
Bayley gonna take the pin?
Yeah, if it's going to end the feud between her and Bayley.
Oh, well, you know what? You're right. If it's going to end that feud, Bayley does got to take the pin, and then that got to be the end of that.
I do think Io jumps from the top of the cage and does a moonsault or a crossbody.
Io is going to beat it. Well, I mean, because she has done it before. Is she going to do it with the trash can over her like last time?
I don't think so. Not a moonsault. She ain't going to do a moonsault.
No, but before she did a crossbody with the trash can on top of her.
Yeah, I think this time she'll do a moonsault. So I think Io will do a moonsault. I think Rhea will hit the her move on the like the thing in the middle.
Yeah.
I think she hit her move through a table on the thing in the middle.
Yeah, I think me and him gonna eat that one because me and him be taking them hardcore bumps.
Yeah, that's what Candice is for, but
yeah. But don't show when she had that street fight with Candice and she took the top rope swinging that brick on the pile of chairs, or when she
that was Candice. Candice also took that too.
So, yeah, exactly. But or when me and him when they was in that ladder match for the advantage of the War Games, and
is her name Miriam Jim? I thought they changed her name.
Yeah, they changed it back though.
Oh, because they seen how stupid that was.
Yeah, I was like that's just no. just keep me in the blazing baddie that she's been doing, and she's fine.
Yeah, but no, I think it goes pretty similarly to how other women's War Games matches go. So it'll still be good.
As long as Becky don't jump from the top, I'm good. She has no.
Becky doesn't need to jump from the top rope. Not even the top rope in this, because she has it's like you have Io in this match. There's no need for anybody else to be jumping on top rope unless it's Bianca.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Io's gonna definitely be the one that's gonna be at the top of the cage doing that kind of spot.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should even be jumping from the top rope. Yeah.
All right. So next up, let's get this out the way. A singles match for the WWE Smackdown Women's Championship: Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi Blackheart. Are we really even going to make it? Yeah,
Ronda Rousey is winning.
I'm about to say she needs to wax Shotzi. I mean, is it good that Shotzi get a title match and she get a big spot at Survivor Series? Absolutely. But right now, the way Ronda and Shayna is teaming up right now, no, there's no way that Shotzi even got a chance.
Yeah, so this could be where Sasha comes back if she were to come back.
Oh, I wouldn't even waste Sasha on this right here.
She could come back and challenge Ronda at the end of the match.
I mean, you know what? It is a possibility. I mean, because first of all,
they are in Boston.
You're right. Look, hypothetically, if that is the case, right? I wouldn't have. Would you take the belt off Ronda right now? I think they want to do Ronda and Becky for Mania.
Well, I mean, the next pay per view is the Royal Rumble, so I mean,
Yeah, but I'm saying I
you
wouldn't
know.
have Sasha come back and put her in a title program knowing that she's gonna lose.
Well, first Becky is on Raw.
Do you think they cared before? If
Well,
Becky wins,
I mean, Triple H is here, so maybe he cares about the brand split.
he does care about the brand split, but even if he has Becky win the Royal Rumble, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
if Becky's like, okay, let's do the matchup that we were supposed to get twice over, but we never got. We were supposed to get Becky and Ronda at Survivor Series, never got it. We were supposed to get Becky and Ronda at Mania. Charlotte wanted to add herself in there, and we never got the Becky and Ronda 1-on-1 matchup. So if they had Becky go in there and win the Women's Royal Rumble, I don't think they're gonna
I
want her
mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. If we doing all this for Becky and Ronda, they can keep it because Ronda is not. She's not. She's not into this run, so I'm trying to get the belt off of her as soon as possible.
I mean, do I like her with Shayna Baszler though? I think it spiced it up a little bit.
Let's spice it up. She
Yeah.
still ain't in. She's still not there. She's checked out.
No, I've seen more checked out people. I mean, she's enjoying being the heel now. She don't mind being a piece of shit because that's what she's more comfortable in. If you have Sasha come in and say, okay, we're just gonna give Ronda another body right now. If you can have Becky win because I think they're gonna do Charlotte and Bianca. You know what I'm saying when Charlotte comes back. And yes, Charlotte's on SmackDown and Raw. I didn't even think about switching them to. I don't know, but I'm saying, but as of right now, I don't know if Sasha comes back for that because there's like Sasha comes back, does Naomi come back? And if she does, then there's really
I
nothing.
mean, they could. I mean, I'm just. I mean, this kind of like a perfect scenario. I mean, if Sasha comes back, right,
Yeah,
and she was supposed to be quote unquote feuding with Ronda Rousey, but every time she tries to get the upper hand, Shayna Baszler attacks her. But then 1 week, Naomi comes out and beats up Shayna, so now it's just a straight 1-on-1 with Sasha and Ronda. I mean, that could just be something that could happen.
it's a possibility. Yeah, they are possible. For some reason, I don't know. I have a you could be right about this, but for some reason, I feel that I can see them just coming out just wrecking shop on Bianca at the after the War Games matchup to set up. Because why not have Sasha and Naomi come back as heels? They left kind of like a heelish way. And
But what does them coming back wrecking shop in the War Games match do? It gives them a match against Bianca, but you just said you wanted Bianca versus Charlotte.
no, I didn't say. I said that's what they want. I did not say I wanted Bianca versus Charlotte.
Okay.
I said what they probably want to do is put Charlotte versus Bianca. I would rather have my Bianca versus Sasha rematch that we never got. To be completely honest with you. And it gives Bianca something else to do away from damage control because she got to get away from that.
I think this is it. So
yes, we got it. Triple threat match for the.
Also, they need to have Rhea be somewhere in the mix too. Rhea should be away from Judgment Day into a title picture because Rhea's too good to be just Dominic's.
Rhea is too. Oh my God! Did you see the Thanksgiving thing?
I did.
That should be dying. That should be dying. However, I understand Rhea's too good, but I really think I don't know if they're gonna drag ass to WrestleMania. Beth got to get that receipt before Rhea gets in. Before Rhea, I think that's why they get her back in the ring more. Before Rhea gets any kind of title shot, Beth got to get that receipt first. Now, I don't know if it's going to be Beth and Edge taking on Rhea and Finn at Rumble.
Or Beth can just do it after.
Yeah, or if it's like, or what you can, in storyline, you can have Rhea Ripley in the Rumble, obviously, because now Triple H has enough women, and then he can bring Beth Phoenix back, and Beth can eliminate Rhea, which could cause them to have their feud, and then maybe instead of a fucking mix, I'm tired of seeing the Edge and Beth Phoenix mixed tag match shit. You can have Beth 1-on-1 with Rhea at Mania. You can give us another women's feud that means something. But triple threat match: Seth Rollins taking on, Seth freaking Rollins versus Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory.
Yep, definitely Seth Rollins here.
Yeah, I mean, but who takes the pin though? They not pinning
Austin
Bobby.
Theory.
Yeah, because
obviously Theory. That's the reason he's in the match.
Yeah, because right now it's like they got Bobby being booked like a fucking monster right now, and he just been bullying the shit out of Ali, Mustafa Ali, and even kind of bullying Theory around. Theory not going back down, but Bobby's showing how much of a monster he is. But yeah, I don't think they want to take the belt off Seth Rollins just yet. And I think they're going to save Bobby because I think they want to do a third match between Bobby and Brock also.
Yeah, but that'd probably be a Mania, not the Rumble.
Not the Rumble. Okay.
We'll see.
You never know, because he could have had her business back by then.
If they want to do it that quickly, or if they want to take their time, who knows?
Well, yeah, I guess.
I mean, I personally wouldn't want to put the Hurt Business back together just for Brock Lesnar to beat them all up. But yeah.
I mean, you're right, but if you could give a very intriguing storyline with it, or even that could be your first storyline after WrestleMania, to get them back together. So, a match that should be great, almost like a 5-star. AJ Styles taking on Finn Balor, 1-on-1, no OC, no Judgment Day.
Yeah, they said they were banned from ringside?
No, I was just saying that. I'm just saying that.
They're definitely heavily involved.
Yeah, but the only reason why I'm saying that is because, I mean, unless you have Priest and Dominic will probably be out there along with Gals there, so I'm saying, but the women probably won't be because they'll be fucking beat up from that War Games match. Even though I had a theory, because logically you would think that they would start with the women's and end with the men's, but I think that you can have a hot opener with AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, and then go into the women's War Games matchup, and then have Seth Rollins and Ronda Rousey be your buffer before you get to the men's one.
They'd probably just do women's and then end with men.
Yeah, that's my part with that. I say, but if they want to go, a different route, I can see AJ and Finn kicking this joint off. Just saying.
Nah, they're gonna want to start with one of the War Games matches because that's how they gonna get people when they watch it on YouTube. Oh, we're gonna start with the War Games match. You want to buy this show?
Yeah, that's a good point there. That is a good point. That is a good selling point for the last little bit of people you want to, so they can just go to Peacock and watch fucking War Games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Seth freaking Rollins like he's gonna be. Oh wait, so we did that already. I have this feud ain't over. I'm gonna go with Finn Balor.
I'm gonna go with AJ. AJ has not had any wins on the pay-per-view in a while, and Finn Balor can take a loss. He's only been pinned. He's only lost 5 times this year.
Oh, that's a change of scenery, isn't it, Finn Balor?
Mm-hmm.
That's a change of fucking scenery. Okay, I'll go with Balor, you go AJ. So we'll be right down the middle. But now it's time for the main event, the men's War Games matchup, which I really think this is going to be a heavy storyline-driven matchup. We got Team Brawling Brutes, which is Sheamus, Ridge Holland, Butch, with Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens, versus the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, the Usos. Now, once again, we already explained the War Games rules and everything like that. How do you see this match going? What kind of storylines is going to play out? What's going to happen with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens once they all in the matchup? Like, how do you see this thing going?
I think I can see Sami and KO starting it, and actually them being them just not playing around. Them just playing like wrestling, but not hard wrestling hard.
Possibility.
They doing headlocks and rest holds and stuff like that. And then, just shoving each other like, hey. And then I feel like the whole time, every time they stare at each other, it's going to be like every few minutes during the match, they're going to have a stare down, but they never touch each other. Be teasing it the whole match. That's what I think.
Okay.
But I do think Kevin Owens is dropping off the top of that cage.
Now, damn, bro. If he's still injured, like with an MCL, like you said, I don't know if he's gonna jump off the top of the cage trying to do no swan time or do false plays.
I mean, why even have him in this match? Sheamus ain't gonna do it.
Fair.
McIntyre not gonna do it. Roman not gonna do it. The Usos not gonna do it. So the only person that do it is Kevin Owens.
He may have to be the top of the cage guy, but who wins the match and who gets pinned?
The Bloodline wins the match, and any one of the Brawling Brutes team can get pinned.
He said anyone of the Brawling Brutes.
Anybody.
Probably Ridge Holland.
Any one of them can get. You know what? Since it's Roman, probably gonna be the one pinning. You know what? I got two scenarios. If Roman is the one pinning, then I say it's probably gonna be Sheamus or Drew, just because it's Roman. He want to look strong and beat somebody strong too. But if it's like if Sammy gets the pin, and Sammy's the one that wins it for the Bloodline, I can see Sammy being conflicted while pinning KO after he just jumped off the top of the cage. And everybody's down, and Sammy's like, I guess, and he pins him. I can see that happening too.
That will be actually kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So my theory is that I don't think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn start the matchup, but however, I do believe it's like Sammy and Pete Dunne. They start the matchup. They have that little history from the World Cup tournament that they had last week, and then when the Bloodline's gonna get the numbers advantage, and then Kevin Owens is gonna come in, and that's when they're gonna see. Because I really think it's gonna be like this. I think it's gonna be Sami Zayn and Butch or Pete Dunne starts it all, and then Sami Zayn and Jey Uso comes in. So then when they beat it down on Butch, but then Kevin Owens comes in. Jey Uso is going to be looking for Kevin Owens. I mean, it's going to be looking for Sammy to attack Kevin Owens, and Sammy's just not going to be able to do it, which is going to cause even a more rift between the Bloodline. And then we go as the more match goes on, as they get to another advantage. Say Jimmy Uso comes in next. Then now he got his brother and stuff like that, so they can take out Kevin. Talk shit like Sammy, like, what the fuck you doing, bro? You gotta get your hit in the match. And then you can get McIntyre stuff like that out. But I actually have you gotta create a riff, and you gotta find a way for Sammy to get out of this group eventually. He's not going to stay part of the Bloodline forever. It's all storyline. And I think it does culminate at WrestleMania with him and Kevin Owens team up to beat the Usos for the belts. The Usos already got all the records with the belts right now. They're the longest reigning tag team champions. They're the unified tag team champions, whatever that means. And they done all the accolades, but it's time to. If you want a big story, especially with the Sammy and Jay stuff going on, you got to get Sammy out of there. I think Sammy is the one that loses for the Bloodline. How else do you get kicked out of the group with Roman? You can't do good because you're going to keep looking at him as the honorary Uso unless they want to really drag this thing on. And then, like, if Sammy is the cause,
I mean, what's the point of rushing it now if we're about to go into 2 months of next pay-per-view is in the end of January? What's the point of splitting them up now? You just split them up like at the beginning of the year or something.
Well, I'm not saying split them up now. I ain't say split the Bloodline. I was saying, but
you call a rift.
I'm saying, but you get cause a rift don't mean splitting them up. I'm saying it's kind of like remember how Cedric and Sheldon started fighting. I was like, why are they starting to fight? Because you see the cracks in the foundation already, which is way too early. But what I'm saying is now with this, you gotta right now. Roman is liking Sammy. Everybody's liking Sammy, but Jay, you got to give some cracks in the foundation to the point where it's like, oh my god, Sammy fucked up. Like for the first time, he fucked up. What's necessarily going to happen with that fucking up? I don't see him fucking up in the Royal Rumble because Roman is not going to be in the Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we don't know that yet. We don't know they're gonna do one versus all. I got the title. I'm gonna defend it.
I hope they don't do that shit again because see they did it with Roman last time in 2016, and we saw how that shit worked out. And I'm like, no, I don't think it is going to do that. But I think you caused a rift here. Now I know it's ballsy to say that maybe the Brawling Brutes steal this one, but. Because I think if the Bloodline loses, I do believe that it will make sense. Like, yeah, I get Sami Zayn out of here. But I think, okay, you know what? I change it. Bloodline still wins, but Sammy causes a rift because it's going to be hard for him to attack Kevin Owens.
You know what? I would say Sammy gets the pin just to bring it out a little more, and then because I think Sammy does what. Sammy, I don't know. I think Sammy turns, but it'll be a face turn for him.
Okay.
Not now, obviously, but that's probably later on. But I'm saying, like, Sammy knows how this game is being played. I think if he got Kevin Owens in his ear, I mean, that's the right person to get you to turn first. Because, you know.
You right.
That's like partnering with Chris Jericho. It's like, you're not going to wait till he turns on you and turn on Chris Jericho because you already know he's ready to turn on you at any given moment.
I just do know. I'm very curious to see how Triple H is going to get us to. It has to be Sammy and KO, the Kevin and Sammy show, taking on the Usos at Mania. It has to be that. That will be a tag team title match. I'll be very intrigued. The most tag team title match I'll be intrigued on since New Day Usos Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, some people think it's going.
Some people think it's going to be what?
Think it's going to be the Usos and the Pauls.
Usos and the who?
The Pauls.
Who are the Pauls?
The Paul brothers.
Oh, I hope not. I hope we're not doing all this fucking build up for the fucking Paul brothers. And if they win that shit, I turn that shit. I'm like, Triple H, you fail. The whole year's a fail if that shit happens. Yeah, they in Hollywood. That's all well and good, but no, I'd rather have Kevin Owens and Sammy taking on the Usos. Get them 20 minutes, let that match breathe, so they can have a match of the year contender, and they win the belts. There have been some great tag team title belts matches, like the Rhodes Brothers versus the Shield and Battleground, all that shit like that. So that's the possibility that you can do. That's all I'm saying for that. But guys, that is also for those who are being clear. I now do pick the Bloodline to win, but I do pick Sammy to mess up somehow, and probably picks the Bloodline as well. But that is our predictions. So make sure you guys tune into the channel where I'm probably. So you're gonna be home watching Survivor Series tomorrow?
Probably.
Okay. Hopefully, I'm gonna talk to Prime and see what we can do of how we're gonna review this thing. Because I would like to try to go live again, but because I think some big shit's gonna happen that I would rather talk about then. But we gotta see how the whole thing plays out, though. Okay. But make sure you stay right here and subscribe for more. But those are our predictions for Survivor Series, and like I said, we'll be back for the review.